Okay, this is Urban Shadows, the Violet Crown, session 4 of 4. We've already done all of our housekeeping stuff off camera, so we're just going to jump right into the game. Let's see here. Did we leave anybody on a cliffhanger last time? I don't think we did. I feel like we were all kind of like there was like a big let's smoke pot thing going on and some prophecies, which I didn't note those prophecies in the notes, but those were important too. And then Landon had just killed this contractor for Charlie. Were there any other cliffhangers that you guys recall? Anything we need to pick up on like right now? Okay, cool. In that case, I think it's late at night now. Okay. It's the same day and it's pretty late. Let's say it's around 3 a.m. I want to just go around the table and find out where you are each at 3 a.m. You can still be where you were before, that's fine. But I want to locate you in time and space in Austin. Frankie, where are you at 3 a.m.?
3 a.m. Oh gosh. Frankie at 3 a.m. She's probably she's probably at she's probably at the German house, the Grigor's place. And with like with the people, and kind of like at this point it's kind of everybody in the house is all kind of like drugged out, and we're all just kind of like listening to music or watching TV or whatever we do as people, and maybe sitting outside, um, just kind of chilling with our drugs and our beers, and just kind of like. So I'm probably with Grigor at the moment. Yeah.
You are not with Grigor at the moment. All the
Oh
rest of
no,
that is true, but Grigor is not there.
Grigor's not there.
Go ahead and roll your foretellings move, though, at the beginning of the session. Roll a spirit.
Oh, right. Okay. 12.
Nice.
Which is pretty
So you've
good.
got hold 2 there.
Uh-huh.
Um, during the session, you can spend it to declare that something terrible is about to happen. Then you guys get +1
Okay.
going to avoid it.
Cool.
Cool. But Grigor is not there. Kind of unusual, but he's a shady guy. He's a necromancer. Maybe he's digging up grave dirt or something. Who knows,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Jerome, where do we
Yeah.
find you? 3 a.m.
Oh, I'm in bed back at my place. I gotta get little Jerome ready for school at like 6:30. So catching a much needed like 5 hours of sleep right here.
Awesome. Landon, did we leave? Are you where we left you? Curled up at the foot of Charlie's bed?
Yeah, I think so. And from what I recall, when Charlie went to sleep, it was still pretty early in the evening, so I don't know if he's still asleep or not.
That's a good point. Yeah. I think he can be if you want. If you want him up, he can be up. But if you're still there, that's good enough for me. You're at the Driscoll. And
Yeah, I'm still at
Gabby.
the Driscoll. Maybe
Okay.
he's like awake and I'm just kind of getting myself together or something. I don't know.
All right, cool. That's perfect. And Gabby, where are you at?
So Gabby's actually at her family's house. This is her distant relatives that still live in Austin. And she's like keeping watch outside because of the danger that's been involved between Jerome and his ex-wife and kid. She's concerned that might spill over into her family, especially with all this Night Noms business. So she's kind of keeping watch.
Cool. And for your your vamp web move, what do you want to? You get to know something about someone in the web, something secret.
Yeah, so I think Jerome's in my web, and that says the start of the session. How does that go? Start of a session, choose someone in your web and learn a secret about them that they'd rather keep buried. So
that could be fun.
Yeah.
So
what do you think, Jerome?
Give us the goods, the dark goods.
Oh, what are the dark goods here? Let me think. I think maybe that Jerome. No, I think I've got something. I think that a big part of what led to the end of his marriage was not just that he was too involved with all of this stuff. I think he had an affair with, I don't know, like someone like either like demon possessed or like a werewolf or something, like someone involved in the supernatural. Like there was like an affair there as well, which is what really killed his marriage. Not just that like he got too caught up in this stuff.
Nice. I'm curious, like how you know this, Gabby. Like, how does your web work? How do you know this information about?
Yeah. So in this case, I think what I'm going to guess that maybe this was a member of my faction. Maybe this was even a vampire that this happened with.
Cool. Let's name him. Or her, rather, I guess, or him, whatever you wish.
I think him would be fun here. Why not? Let me think.
How about Bianca?
Okay, I'll take a Bianca.
Yeah.
Do you think that's someone who? How would you have known Bianca? Like that'd probably be someone you know if she's in the vampire court.
Actually, I think this is just sort of like the discussion through the web, basically. Whenever you came to town, we looked up on you and found out that you're aware, but you had some dealings. Maybe you were dominated by Bianca, because that's one of the things vampires can do.
Yeah.
You were enthralled by them or something like that. Yeah. And this would be where you came from. Did you come from Philadelphia? Is that right?
I think around like New Jersey area.
Jersey. Okay.
Outside of New York, yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah, maybe that was like my introduction to like this supernatural underworld.
Gabby, you're at your family's house in South Austin. That's about, just so that everybody here knows, because not everyone here has lived in Austin, where you're at in South Austin, at 3 a.m, ideally with no traffic, but you can never count on it because you never know. It's about probably like 20 minutes, 15 minutes away from where everybody else is. The Driscoll, the Yellow House, all that stuff is like Central Austin near campus, right? Jerome, what part of town do you live in? Do you live like kind of more north, or?
I don't have the map
decided.
In front of me. We hadn't actually talked about that too much yet. I think it'd be interesting if he was living in like a neighborhood that like was in like the middle of gentrifying though.
Oh, so like East Austin. Well, so maybe like Northeast Austin or North Austin would be great. Yeah. Good. You're still probably a little bit closer to Central Austin than Gabby is. And this is why it's important, Gabby. Gabby, you get a phone call from Melissa. Melissa stays near campus, okay? She has a little house that she shares with a couple people probably in Hyde Park, okay, near campus. And like you maybe wake up and she's been like the last 15 minutes or so, she's been like lighting your phone up like with messages and phone calls. What do you do?
So I think the reason that the phone's been lighting up is I've kind of put it in airplane mode while I'm skulking around, and I get back to my car where I can actually make some light or something like that. I check the phone, I see all these messages, and I think I text her back and say, busy right now, what's up?
She just calls you. Like she just calls you immediately.
Okay. And I answer the phone and I say, this better be important.
She's like, Aunt Gabby, I didn't know who else to call. I tried calling the cops. I'm not getting any kind of. There are people, Aunt Gabby, people like in our yard, in the backyard, in the front yard, like dozens of them, 2-3 dozen maybe. They're just standing there watching.
So I think I'll say, get to an interior room, hunker down. I'll be right there.
Awesome. Now as soon as you get off the phone, she's like, as soon as you get off the phone, I think you hear or as soon as you're about to get off the phone, like right before you hang up, you hear like the smashing of glass and a scream. Okay.
And she's in Central Austin, closer to campus.
Closer to campus, yeah.
And that's why it's important. So let me look to see who I have debts on.
Exactly. That's to say, you might want to call one of your buddies who are closer to deal with this, unless you want to brave the Austin traffic move.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably do that anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Because 3 a.m, there should be no traffic. That's when you invoke the move.
That's exactly right. I think I'm gonna invoke a move with Jerome.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you have a bet on Jerome?
I think this is you get a call. I've already texted you the address. I wake you up. And,
very groggy.
Yeah. And I say, grab a weapon, meet me at this location. The people who live here helped us out earlier tonight, and they're in danger. Go in expecting a fight. And then I hang up.
Before I get sick. I shoot you like 3 texts. It's like maybe I try calling you, especially like 3 texts like, what the hell's going on? Like, I'll be there, but like, what is the deal here? Like, this is your family, right?
This is my family, and I specifically said on the phone that this is the lady who helped us out earlier. Yeah. This is the family member that helped us out earlier.
Okay, well, I'm like kind of, still kind of like, shaking off sleep, but, getting ready, like, throwing a jacket on since it's like probably like 4 a.m. at this point.
Do you call anybody?
Do I call anybody?
Because I'll tell you right now, where Frankie is like practically next door. Like, it's really, really close, right?
Yeah, sure. You know what? First I'll send her a text, like, you up, because like I probably wouldn't like bring her into this like out of hand, but if she's like close by, like might as well let her know like what's going on and see if she has any insights or any assistance here. But I'll like rather before calling her at like 4 a.m. I'll send like a text like, you up.
And you immediately, like, before you even like flip your phone closed or whatever, it's just like, hey bro, what up?
So I like dial you, and I'm like, look, I just got this freaky text or this freaky call from Gabby. She says that, it seems like her family's in trouble, and I kind of know this because I know your family. She doesn't want people to know it's your family, so forget I told you that. But heading into a pretty sticky situation in your area, I just wanted to keep you posted on it.
All right, yeah. Why don't you come on down to the yellow house and we'll rendezvous there. And I got some buds who might be able to help out with the situation. So yeah, let's do that.
Cool, that makes sense. So I'll head over there, shoot Gabby a quick text saying that I'm at the yellow house, which is like like you said, just around the block or pretty close by.
So actually, Gabby, are you going to try to get there in a hurry, Gabby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. I do want to. I am going to go scope the place out on my own a little bit. I'm going to snoop, just kind of cruising around the block that she told me to, before I go to the yellow house. I want to kind of cruise around the block and see what I can notice.
Yeah, that's good. Let's see here. I'll just tell you straight away what you see without even having to invoke any moves here. Mm-hmm. If you just drive around the block, you're going to see that there are a bunch of people on the sidewalk and on the yard of this house where Melissa and her friends live. And you can see like a few of the people like bashing on the door, like trying to get in. And there's definitely like commotion going on in the house of Gabby or Melissa and co trying to keep these people out of the house. Mm-hmm. A roll might get you more information.
Yeah, I'm rolling my stew move. Hopefully I get a decent roll so that I don't mess up both of these. Oh, there we go. That's a 7+ mine, which is going to get me up to a 9. Not cool. So bad. I get one question. So, what here is the greatest danger to me?
All those people kind of like standing around aimlessly on Melissa's yard, and some of them trying to get in, are pretty scary. It's a really eerie sight.
I just asked the question with the very obvious answer.
But more importantly, a little bit down the sidewalk, there is. Have you ever met Grigor? It's Grigor. He's standing there looking like big and jacked, right? You
So
know.
this is great because it gives me an opportunity for my other or one of my other moves, which is did your homework. When you put a face to a name with someone politically important, I could roll with mine instead of faction. Can I pull that here?
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of roll up, you're gonna see Grigor standing there looking all jacked and everything. He's got like he looks like he's holding glow sticks in his hands a little bit, right? But it's actually just like green energy coming off his palms, right? But you can put a face to a name for sure.
All right. So rolling with mine instead of faction, as an 8 + 2 is 10. So if I did your homework move, on a hit, you know a dangerous secret about them or their political machinations. And on a 10+, I know how to leverage that information. So I take a debt on them as well.
Okay, cool. Is this in addition to the stuff that you get like on Put a Face to a Name?
It is in addition to that.
Okay. So you've dealt with them before. Okay, so on a hit, you know their reputation. We'll get to that in a minute. On a 10+, you've dealt with them before, learned something interesting and useful about them, or they owe you a debt. So you're going to know that it's Grigor. You're going to know he's a drug dealer. You're going to know he's a necromancer in the supernatural underworld. You'll know those things, right? No problem. What are the things that your move give you?
So I either I know a dangerous secret about them or their political machinations, and I can leverage that so I get a debt. I know how to leverage that info.
Yeah, the dangerous secret that I think you know about Grigor is you've seen him talking to Senator Langston privately, like secretly. Where did you see them like having like a private convo one time? They're in cahoots.
Where did I see them having a private convo? I think it was at like, private conversation, but it was in public. It was just at like a fancy bar in downtown Austin, like a pretty expensive, like exclusive spot.
Why would somebody like Senator Langston be talking to this guy, right? Like this
right.
This big rough-looking German guy, right? Or whatever, Romanian, whatever he is. Cool. What do you do with this information? Like, or what do you do once you know all this? Realizing that there is like an immediate danger. Like these things are trying to get into the house. Right.
Right. But I don't know if me and my handgun are going to take on 20 zombie things or whatever they are, and a necromancer. I think that I'm going to be driving kind of towards the yellow house. It isn't too far. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to call Gabby and fill her in on this situation, these details, kind of see where she is and what's up.
I'm gonna get to Landon in a minute, but Gabby, are you heading straight over?
I'm heading straight over, but I think that what I'm going to do instead of and as much as I want to invoke the drive move, I figured out my upgrade or my advancement, and I'm going to take fairy magic.
Okay, cool.
Basically, it gives me some ability to use a little bit of magic. So I'm actually going to shape change into a bat.
Oh, nice. Okay, sweet. That sounds good. Do you have to roll, or does it just happen?
I think I have to mark corruption or take harm in order to do this.
Okay.
I wouldn't, considering the number of bats in Austin around, at night, I wouldn't mind rolling the traffic move. Still having to do with the bats, but yeah. So I think I'll take a mark of corruption for that.
Yeah, I think you can avoid bat traffic. It's fine. It is very active bat time, but okay, cool. Yeah. So you change into a bat, and okay, is it like a quick like kind of transformation, or is it something more like gruesome looking, like American Werewolf in London?
No. Yeah, I think in this case, what it looks like is it's just a very fast thing.
Okay.
What we see on camera is basically her step out of the car, take off at a run, and as kind of a tree passes by in front of the camera, there's suddenly a bat there taking off.
Nice. Charlie is up, Landon, and he says, you can see him like he's out on the balcony. He's really, really like intensely focused on something. He has been silent for a little bit. Like he's normally like, kind of like chatty or whatever, but he's like really focused on something. What do you do?
Yeah. I put on the a bathrobe and kind of. You said where was he at?
He's on the balcony of the room. Of the
Yeah, I
suite.
go out there and join him and just look at the view. And then I kind of like look at his face to see if I can tell, kind of his mood.
I would say read a person, but he's going to be pretty forthright with you here. So he turns to you and he says, something's going on. Something's going on in the city. I sense an opportunity that we might be able to exploit.
What got you onto this? What are you thinking?
And he kind of like walks up, he kind of like steps closer to you and he says, there aren't many things that I don't see. Austin is a little tricky, but I've been here long enough to be able to attune myself to it. The necromancer Grigor, he's currently away, and he's left his curious supply vulnerable at his lair. I think you should go get it.
Sure. Yeah. If he comes, home or whatever, I guess I'll just. I don't know. I know Frankie. She knows him, so she can definitely help me cover my tracks or make some excuse or something. So I'll give her a call.
Good. Excellent. And he like pats you on the head and goes back inside the suite. What do you do?
I think I call Frankie.
Hey.
Hey, I was just wondering, can you meet me in the alley here at the hotel and just like bring me some just clothes, whatever?
You're naked?
I'm not naked. I've got a robe, but
Well,
remember you guys dropped me off here last night and I didn't have a change of clothes, so I've just been hanging out in this robe here. So just bring me whatever, and I want to talk to you about something.
Well, yeah, no, I get, you come here, come on over here. We're doing some stuff. Jerry's coming over, and we're gonna deal with some stuff. So you come on over here. You're in a bathrobe. You're fine. I mean, it's Austin. It's 3:30 in the morning, guy. Like you're gonna be okay. Yeah. We're good. We're good. It's just a 10-minute walk. I'd love to see you. It's we got to talk about stuff. I get you.
Were you trying to cash in a debt on Frankie just then?
I guess I kind of was. But so it sounds like she's not taking the bait.
I mean, if you spend it, that means Frankie has to refuse to honor a debt if she wants to avoid going to where you're at right now.
Oh yeah, no, I kind of like that idea. Like, I want to press it. I'm like, look, Frankie, I don't want to walk around Austin practically naked.
Well, I mean, what's the deal? You're like, I don't understand. You're like a demon. Just fly over here. I'm not. So what's the? I don't want to necessarily refuse, but what's the refuse a debt?
So there's a move, and you roll with heart, and basically, however it goes, On a hit, you weasel out of the current deal but still owe the debt. On a 7 to 9, you also have to owe them either an additional debt, you lose face with that faction, or you mark corruption. So, and then on a miss, it's you basically can't you can't avoid it. Like you either honor the debt or you face a bunch more consequences. So. And I think Jerome, did you spend a debt on Frankie just now to get Frank, or were you just like telling Frankie what was up?
I was just telling her what was up. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't have like a big ask in that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, and I think I don't know if I even owe him any, but whatever.
You know, I just tell you. You know, fine, I'll just walk, but don't think I won't remember that you couldn't bring me clothes when I hang up.
I'm waiting.
So you're not spending the debt. Then you're just gonna go. Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of bitchy about it.
Fair enough. Jerome, you can see that this group of zombies or whatever they are like they're starting to really like kind of pile up on the front door of the house, and they're like bashing on the door at this point. And the screaming coming out of the house. You can hear this all from like maybe you're parked across the street or whatever. What do you do?
Man, I got a son to look after. I'm not fighting a pack of zombies. Like I said, I'm heading to the Yellow House and calling Gabby. I'm not solo taking these guys on.
Gabby,
well,
I think we should do a keep your cool to see if you get there in time, or to basically see if you get there in time, or if there's any problems. Essentially, you just have to tell me what you'd want to avoid here.
Yeah, I think that Gabby's not answering my call, seeing as she's in bat form right now.
She's in bat right now. Yeah.
So I think what I'm trying to avoid is anything that would delay me from getting to this location. I'm just trying to get there as fast as possible.
Okay, good. And we can see how this could be problematic because it's the first time you've done this, right? Essentially. Let's just have that roll.
So what is that a roll with? Spirit? So I got a 9.
Okay.
And my spirit is a -1, so I got an 8.
Okay. I think basically you weren't quite ready to make the transformation yet. I think like you had been kind of like you wanted to practice it first, essentially, right? But now you have to kind of go in a hurry. I think it's just going to cost you some harm. Essentially, I think it's going to cost you like 1 harm.
Okay.
But otherwise, you're good. You're going to get there though. You're in bat form at this point. The zombies are they're surrounding the house, and I think they've even managed to get the front door down, and they're going in. What do you do?
I think what I'm going to do. Where is Jerome?
At this point, I guess I'm still in the vicinity. Like you can probably spot my car, but I'm still in my car.
Yeah. So I think what I'll do is I'll basically come down to the ground, and again, you see, the bat kind of fluttering past, and it kind of gets obscured by a lamppost or something, and then you see Gabby kind of walk out from behind the lamppost, and it's very close to where Jerome is. So it's kind of startling that she just sort of appears there. And I think
Jerome's already startled.
True. And I think that I'm going to tell Jerome, get to the house, and get everyone inside out the back. I'm going to cover you for a bit.
Okay.
And I think at that point, so I took the fairy magic move to get some of the vampire tropes.
Sure.
So I think what I'm going to do at that point is there's an illusion thing, and I'm just going to call fog.
Okay, nice.
To make fog just suddenly seep out of the ground to cover everything, and then tell Jerome, move.
So Jerome's going to go into the house, grab them, while you basically give him cover, essentially.
Right. And so basically, once I get the fog up, I'm just going to go in and start, messing around with things. I don't know how much damage I can do to a zombie, but I might start punching things or shove it around or shove them into each other or something like that.
Nice. So you're going to spend corruption for that?
I am. I also was looking. I could use the mislead, distract, or trick move as well for that, because that's what I'm doing with the fog.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. The only thing that like I think probably the fog is the better move here because you're kind of up against like more of a force of nature than like an individual entity, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's almost more like it's more like an obstacle than anything. So
yeah, yeah.
so I think let's do it that way.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Frankie, back at the Yellow House, you've heard some shit is going on, and Grigor's not around. It's 3 a.m. There's a good chance he's involved. What are you thinking right now? What are you doing?
Well, so I'm gonna like we're all kind of partying, but I'm gonna go up to Gilda and Tommy, who are two of like my compatriots in arms, the two of my like fellow drug dealers who are also kind of disgruntled with Grigor's management style, and I'm just like, okay, this night could be the night that we get what's coming to us, guys. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been waiting for.
This is the night we're gonna fuck over Grigor.
Yeah, I think it could be tonight. Are you ready for this?
She's like, did you see how angry he was about this Melissa chick? I mean, I think he's over there fucking her up right now.
I know. It's perfect. He's not here. Let's take his shit and run.
And then Tommy's like, is it Tommy that you said?
Yeah, Tommy.
Tommy's like, I don't know, Frankie. I mean, Grigor's pretty hardcore. I mean, like, he's punishing one of his people right now at this very moment. Like, I don't want to bring that down on me.
But you know what? I've got something on my side. I got a trick up my sleeve, and he's a demon.
They may not know what you're talking about there, but you can persuade them. They might interpret demon as like a badass or something.
Right? Yeah.
I'll give you the roll just because like they might trust you as a general matter. So
right. That's with what? With heart, yeah. I assume. Okay, well that's 10.
Okay, nice. They're gonna do it. All right, so like they're like grabbing like his stash of like pot and everything, they're going through all that stuff, maybe a little bit of coke, that kind of thing. There's also the room that you're not all supposed to go into, Frankie. The one where he went and got the Gatorade bottle with the ghost spirit in it.
Yes.
What do you do there?
Well, I'm gonna go in the room and see what's up. How many bottles are there?
There are probably about 24 of those bottles.
Okay. I'm gonna open them all and just let
ghosts out.
Let the ghosts out, because I feel like that could really get me in good with these ghosts, and maybe like they can help me out in some way.
Okay, this is a fun moment. Let's paint this scene together as a group.
Okay.
You're gonna mark corruption.
Yes.
So mark corruption for doing this.
Okay.
Everybody else, we're going to see some ghosts that in their sort of like shell-shocked state until they're able to get themselves sorted out, from being trapped in that bottle. They're going to replay the trauma of how they died for Frankie right now, right? So as she lets them out, they play out their death for you, right? Like it's Disney haunted house level shit, right? Like we see it all happening. I want everyone to just like describe a person and how they died and what we see as she's freeing them all from these Gatorade bottles. This is a problem for you, by the way, Landon, because I think this is probably what Charlie wanted, right? just know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go through it. Let's paint the scene first. Give me some ghosts.
Well, there's one ghost uh, who is clearly sort of just kind of before getting sitting in what seems to be a car, and then and she's like driving actually, and really really drunk. And there's two of them. There's two ghosts, and they're connected, and they're both kind of driving this ghost vehicle, and then it just smashes into pieces.
Nice.
Yeah.
Steven, give me some ghosts.
Yeah, I think what you see is you see a little girl, and she's got on like a bathing suit, and then you see this tentacle wrap around her, and she kind of
Ooh.
gets pulled under the water.
Nice, nice. Foreshadowing, or well, kind of a callback, I suppose. More than anything.
Callback.
Philip.
Yeah, there's a woman who is giving labor, or she's in labor, giving birth, and she's just doing the breathing, quick shot of breath or whatever, and then there's also a man who is he's like naked, and there are some arms that are like kind of coming out of nowhere and choking him, and he is like jacking off.
All right. Michael, your ghost.
I think we see one just kind of like running, kind of like an older guy, like running down an alley, like clearly like, you know, being chased by some kind of monster. We get glimpses of it, like this, you know, were creature behind him. And he actually just has like a heart attack as he's running, and kind of clutches his chest and falls to the ground. And that's that.
Nice, nice. So Frankie, you filled up your corruption track. You can clear that and pick a corruption move now. So.
Yeah, just did that.
Awesome. I'm going to cut away from that though while you're doing that, or just yeah, we've had that our little ghost scene. Landon, you're walking down the street in your bathrobe at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
In your slippers, right? I think you hear a boop, 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 as a cop car kind of rolls up. There's a cop car like rolling up right behind you, right?
This is why we don't walk around the city in our robe and nothing else.
Not completely out of the ordinary for Austin, but nevertheless, you know, still asks the question, right? The cop, like, you know, pulls up and it's like, he kind of rolls his window down, and he says, "Are you okay? You look a little lost. Like maybe you're, are you feeling all right?"
Yeah, feeling all right. Just going to a friend's.
Where are you coming from?
Just coming from the hotel, but yeah, I just wanted to just walk over there real quick.
You decided to take a walk without putting your clothes on?
I'm wearing a robe. This is clothing.
Where are you going at 3 a.m. in your robe?
Oh, my friend just called and said there was a party going over here, and I'm just gonna go and see if I can join in.
And he's not looking convinced.
Look, I had like a really hard night. Okay, I just want to go and just be around people, and that's it.
He's like, just hold on a second, and then he like puts the car in park, you know, the cruiser in park, and he gets out, and he's like, just I just want to talk to you for a minute. Come here, I just want to talk to you for a minute.
Is this because I'm Middle Eastern? Is that?
He's like, I didn't even know you were Middle Eastern. I thought you were Mexican. I can't tell. All right. And he like goes and he says, "You been drinking tonight? What's going on?"
I haven't had anything to drink at all. I'm just, honestly, I just got out of bed, and the robe was the quickest thing that there was to put on and get out the door. Okay. I just, I'm just out for a bit in a
He's like,
row.
all right. He's like, all right, all right, all right. Well, before you go, and he pulls his gun out of his holster. Before you go, make sure you let Charlie know that Mr. Appleby says hi. And then he like pulls, he just points the gun right at you and he's getting ready to fire. What do you do?
Yeah, demon farm. Roll this out.
So do you have to roll the transform?
Yeah, I do. I think I roll with blood. Seven.
7. Or what happens?
I get 1. So oh man. I think if he shoots me in the head with a gun, I don't think armor is going to protect me from that. That seems like it'd be a lot of harm.
Well, and you may need to dodge or something too before you transform, because you might get a shot off, right?
Oh, I can get demonic movement. Okay, I'll choose demonic movement.
Okay, in which case I'll let you avoid it. That's fine.
Yeah, so yeah, I just transform and it's like my wings are suddenly there and with this huge clap, I'm like out of the way of the gun and then I'm going for blood. I'm gonna
Nice.
use my big old nasty claws to rip right into him.
All right.
Okay,
Go
roll
ahead and roll
again.
Unleash. We'll get that on the table, and then I'm going to cut
Okay.
away.
10.
Nice. All right. We'll come back to that. Okay, so the fog is rising up. You can hear their droning voices because they're agitated, Jerome. You can hear them. Dozens of them, right? The screams, banging, clanging, but the fog is rising up. What do you do?
Well, I think Gabby's plan sounded pretty good. I mean, if these guys are all banging on the front door of the house, then, hopefully I'll be
They had
able
just busted in, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either way, hopefully there aren't too many around the back of the house. So I'm looking for like a door or a window that I can get open. I mean, I've got my Beretta in hand in case there are any back here, but I'm hoping to get something open without drawing too much attention, and then seeing if I can get the people in there out of here.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think probably there's a back door. There's no need to roll for this. I mean, yeah, there's definitely a back door, and it looks like the zombies are kind of like the zombies have kind of. I think there are a few like around the back, but with the fog cover, you can probably try to like sneak through them and get to the back. In which case, I think that's probably to keep your cool.
Okay.
So, what would you like to avoid here?
Getting eaten by zombies, or drawing their attention at all. Like, hopefully I can get through here, because if they actually notice me, it'll be harder to get anybody out.
Right.
Keep your cool is with spirit. Okay, +0. That's a 7. That works, more or less.
You're going to get in fine. I'll talk about the cost in a second, but just give me the scene when you get in.
When I get into the house?
Yeah, you're approaching and getting past the zombies and all that. Yeah, just give me the whole.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I'm kind of like, I think at first I'm trying to like go around like basically on the street without getting too close to the house until I kind of see an opening, and then I just kind of like wade into the fog a bit. Just kind of like peering through it. Like I know there's like maybe a couple of zombies are still banging on a window, but they're at least. They seem fairly easy enough to avoid because they're already pretty focused. And, I kind of sidle up to this back door, which, obviously is locked in a situation. I've got the Beretta. I'll, blow the handle off, shoot it right there, and then ease that open and start calling out to the people inside of there. Let them know that I'm a person and that we've got what looks like a way out.
So Melissa has 2 roommates. They're both young women. They're all grad students. Melissa and one of them, like they're able to get to you, no problem. But the third one, like as she's trying to, like you can see the third one like screams as a couple of zombies like basically tackle her down to the ground, and like she's like clamoring on the floor as these zombies are crawling up her legs and up her back.
Yeah, I've got my gun. Let's see if I can get some headshots in.
Yeah, that's good. I think maybe. So you got a couple things here, right? I mean, you could use your corruption move and end this completely. Like you could use your corruption move and get all of them out. I think.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah.
You know what? I'll do it. I'll do it. More corruption moves is always a good thing, right?
Yeah. So the corruption move is eyes on the
Eyes
door.
on the door, yeah.
When in danger from the supernatural, you can mark corruption to escape as if you roll 12 plus. And I think our danger here is going to be like, basically the danger is like trying to free this girl and having to cope with zombies, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, even on the 10 plus, I would still choose one of these options.
Right.
I've already got 2 harm, so I don't want to suffer harm. I don't want to leave anything important behind because that's the whole point of invoking this right now. I think that I'm going to end up in another dangerous situation because, I've already marked corruption once on this.
Yeah, there's a pretty easy follow up there. But just describe how you will free this third roommate or this third person and get them out to the sidewalk where they'll be safe.
Like I said, a couple quick bullets, and then I'm gonna, drag her off from there. I mean, these zombies aren't too hard to hit at this range, and fortunately, they're not focused on me. So, blast them and then grab her, just start, helping her get to her feet and rush out of there as quick as possible.
Nice. Gabby, what are you doing in the meantime? You got the fog up.
Yeah, so I think that what Gabby's going to do is she's going to run around as a distraction for Jerome in the front yard, like hitting zombies and making, drawing their attention somewhat.
Right, yeah.
Since he was able to get in, if you want to skip to it, I can just jump Gregor.
Okay, well, so let's, hold that thought. So,
okay.
I think like what is, maybe you were like, distracting zombies, doing all that stuff. Yeah. They're going to come out. He's going to come out with Melissa and her roommates, and it's all going to be good. You guys are going to be safe. I think what the problem is, and this is kind of like I'm kind of following up on the escape roll. Mm-hmm. I think Grigor. One of the things that Grigor can do as a necromancer is he can control the undead. Right, it's one of his talents, and basically, I think Grigor like approaches from the sidewalk, and he just he has like this green mote of energy in his hand, and he like stretches it out, and he kind of like blows like, and this little green mote like just flies at you, and you see it, like you see this little green mote flying at you. What do you do?
I think I'm going to just try and get out of the way as quickly as possible.
Okay. Just give me it's probably a keep your cool. What are you trying to avoid? I assume getting hit by the moat.
Yep. And again, that is spirit.
Yeah.
So that is a 5.
Ah, great.
Yes.
You are moted. Basically, the green mote, I don't think you see it in time. I don't think you realize in time what's going on. Mm-hmm. The mote hits you, and Jerome, you are rushing into the safety of your vampire friend's arms when you see her eyes instantly like light up green, right? And she bares her fangs, and we'll cut from there. So Frankie, you've just freed all these ghosts, and there are ghosts roaming around, and they're playing out their trauma, and it's freaking you out, and you had to mark corruption. Did you do that in front of Gilda and Tommy, or did you do all that kind of privately?
No, yeah, Gilda and Tommy probably saw the whole damn thing.
Then they freak the fuck out, and they're going to run. Like they're freaking out. They've got all the drugs, and they're running. What do you do?
Gilda, go! Tom, come! We're fine. These are my friends.
They're like, no, this is crazy. This is fucking nuts. I'm done. I should have listened to my parents and gone to school in Dallas instead. And they're running. They're like, fuck Austin, fuck Grigor, fuck you. And they're leaving.
I thought I told you about all my dealings. Anyway, hey, ghosties. Hey, what's up? Hey, I could use some help with some stuff. You want to help me out, ghosties?
And what are you going to try to get the ghost to do?
Not sure. I mean, I'm trying to think, yes, so are ghosts considered undead for Grigor,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
yes, okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna say oh goodness gracious me. I think what I'm gonna try to do with the ghosts is have them kind of help me get the fuck out right now.
Just get away from, generally get away from Grigor, because the problem is that because they're not at their haunts, they're really weak right now, right? They must return to their haunts, or they're no good.
Right.
So maybe finding one ghost would be great, just one that can kind of help you out right now.
Just find a ghost that's that is a little more broad in its haunting, or something like that.
Yeah. I think there's probably so I think there's probably the ghosts are kind of wandering off. They're going back to their haunts. They're either ignoring you or they explain that to you, right? But I think there's one, and we're gonna call him. We'll give him a name. He's gonna be. That's Night Faction, right? His name is AJ. And AJ was I think AJ used to be the ghost who ran drugs out of here before Grigor.
Oh.
Maybe Grigor even was the one who killed him, right? And he appears as a normal person. He's not spectral or whatever, after the initial sort of shock of coming out of the bottle. Young black guy, dreadlocks, kind of one of those green military jackets, right? And he's like, so what's up? Why'd you free us?
Well, I feel like, I don't like Grigor, and I kind of want to get rid of him. And I figure, you guys probably are into helping me out with that kind of situation. And I just, I feel like I could use the help. And I see, I see you guys all captive, and I'm just I feel for you, because I've been a captive to Grigor myself in a lot of ways. Not in the same way, obviously. I wasn't in an old Gatorade bottle, so that's a little bit better for me. But I just felt I felt for you guys, and I just wanted to help, and that's the basis of the particular situation today, AJ.
So you want help? What? Killing Grigor? What are we doing here?
I mean, that would be excellent, really. I don't know what kind of network you guys have. The ectoplasmic network of peeps. Of ghosties. I need connections. That's essentially what I'm looking for.
Roll persuade. Let's see if I think you've given him sufficient reason. If nothing else, you helped him out, and so that's worth something, right?
All right, I got a 7.
Okay. He says, look, the ghosts, we're not some kind of fraternal order, okay? I can't make them do anything. half of them don't even know where they're at most of the time, right? They're lost, they're confused. They keep playing out the horrors of how they died over and over again. I'm one of the more steady ones. So can't help with the ghosts, but I might be able to help you kill Grigor. And he says, come with me. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Landon. Yeah, so what you got? You got a 10
I got a
plus?
10.
All right, so what happens on the 10 plus here?
Let's see. I inflict harm as established and choose one. Inflict terrible harm, take something from them.
Terrible harm will kill this guy if you choose that one.
Yeah, I'm going to just kill him. And then since he's dead, I can do whatever I want with him. So I'm going to take his keys and search his car for some clothes. And if there's none in there, then I'll just steal his
uniform
pants or something. I don't want to take his like uniform top, like maybe his pants and like his undershirt. But yeah, I don't want to be dressed as a cop.
Okay.
Is there anything interesting in his car?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. I think you will find there might be a role here, there might not be. I don't know. Let me think. I don't think so. If you've got a minute to search his car, you will find basically, I think Mr. Appleby will have left something in the car that gives him control over humans, right? Like some kind of little totem or little object that like he can place he can place on a person's person and have them like do something for him, right? He has a connection with them. What do you suppose that is?
Oh man,
Take ideas from the table. If anybody has any thoughts on what that might look like or what it might be.
Well, if it's from Mr. Appleby, it could be some kind of like artifact, like some like, I mean, it could be something from like 100 or 200 years ago.
Like an arrowhead, maybe.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
An arrowhead or like a really old contract or something, yeah.
What about...
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
What about maybe like a feather or something?
Okay.
Like a dream catcher kind of thing?
That's what I was kind of going with, the feather.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
We could do that. Like maybe there's like a we'll go with that. We'll go with like a like a little like sort of Native American like feather twiggy object thing, right?
Yeah, it's like I think it's like a feather with some kind of strange knot tied onto it or something.
Okay. Cool.
A weird little doodad.
Yeah, it definitely sticks out. Like, why would this cop have that in his car, right? Like, just like on the floorboard or whatever.
So
sure.
I take that and I look at his car, and if I don't find any clothes in there, then I'm just going to just strip him naked right there.
Indeed.
And,
so, how'd you kill him? Like, what did it look like when you killed him?
Oh, it was my claws straight under his jaw and coming out his eyeballs.
Nice. Yeah, you'll have to just take his pants and his undershirt.
Yeah. I think I'm really happy to get these boots.
Nice. Gabby, you have a clean slate, don't you, in terms of your marks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now you're under control. Grigor has you under like a spell, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try to translate that into a mechanic here real quick. That because I don't want to just like take over your character, right?
May I make a suggestion?
Sure. What do you?
So I took harm earlier. I think feeding on someone unwilling would be a great move right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I was gonna suggest that you like attack one of them, right? I was gonna I didn't want it to be like, oh, you have to though, right? Like I wasn't gonna like take over your character basically.
Well, I think I already failed a roll, right? So I think that's gonna be one consequence.
Yeah. I mean, let's do it this way. So I guess the question is like, you're clearly going to attack someone, right? That seems like the obvious thing that's going to happen here. I think it's just a matter of like, who is it going to be, Jerome or Melissa, or one of the two roommates, right? I'll let you choose.
I think I like it. It adds more drama if it's one of the roommates.
Okay.
Because of course Melissa doesn't know anything about this.
Right.
Jerome knows enough to get out of the way. So I think that Melissa freaks out whenever she sees Gabby vamp out and start eating one of her roommates.
Yeah, you just like grab it. And I think it's like messy too. Like describe it. Like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna drink a little bit of blood from you and then send you on your way or drain you. Like it's nasty. Like it looks gruesome. Like what do you do?
So I think that what this is the typical, going for the jugular, bending the girl over. She's kind of helpless, and there's like a spurt of blood that comes out, and maybe it splatters on people. So
nice.
I think she starts to shake too.
Yeah, and Melissa screams. The other roommate screams. Jerome, what do you do? Like this is happening right in front of you.
Look, I have already put in time tonight. I am trying to have Melissa and the other roommate and get out of there. I'm not like, you know what? I've seen it before. I've helped Gabby feed before. I've already been helping her out tonight, so I don't need to. At this point, I feel like I've done enough. I'm gonna try to get the other two and get the hell out of there.
You can roll escape, or you can do the corruption move again. It's up to you.
My blood is not good, so I'm going to do the corruption move again.
And this will count as escaping from Grigor too. So
okay,
because it's the whole scene. So
let's see. And then my options on that, even on the 10+, are to don't want to suffer harm. I've already had enough dangerous situations. You know what? I think I'll owe Gabby a debt for this one because I haven't really gone quite all the way on what she kind of brought in the debt to me for. So I'll go ahead and owe her one for this still.
And maybe what this looks like, maybe what this looks like is Gabby starts to go for Jerome, and he grabs Melissa and says, "I'll keep her safe." And that's whenever Gabby turns towards one of the roommates.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like I like having the deck out there, but Jerome, like in character, is going to be so upset when he did all of this shit and he still owes you the debt.
And Gabby, you marked corruption, right, for feeding on something? Cool. And Jerome, you marked to escape. I think Grigor's not gonna. I think as you're kind of like running out of there, Jerome, as you're getting away, you'll see Grigor like see you guys like run off in one direction, and he's like, he's definitely like knows what happened here, or at least has a sense of it, that like someone helped Melissa escape. Where do you go to though?
Well, I mean, I was headed to the Yellow House earlier, but like that's where Grigor lives, so that seems like the worst possible place I could head right now. So I was talking to Frankie earlier, so I'll like send her a text, tell her that I'm getting out of there, and I guess for now I'm gonna take these two girls back to my place unless they have somewhere else in mind.
Okay.
I mean, how are they responding?
Melissa would probably want to go to her like family's house in South Austin, right?
And I'm like, look, that sounds kind of dangerous to me. I mean, Grigor knows to look for you there. You're welcome to hold up at my place tonight. I just got to take the kid to school in the morning. But aside from that, like you've got, you can hang out here for like a day until Gabby snaps out of it, whatever's gotten over her, and maybe we can figure things out from there. I'll drop you off. I'll drop you off in South Austin. Just I don't know if it's a good idea.
She's like, no, your place is fine. No, thank you so much. Thank you. And that'll be that. So before we're gonna take a break here in a sec, but before then, Frankie, do you have any weapons?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I didn't think so. I didn't think you had any gear.
Oh wait, I think it says 3 custom. Oh no, wait, that's something different. Yeah, my gear is just like a phone and I guess ritual objects. I guess I could have like a.
Well, it's cool. So basically, AJ is like, I'll help you kill Grigor. And because this house used to be AJ's, right? He knows like where all the bodies are buried, right?
Mhm.
And so he takes you like into like a hallway, and he begins like lifting up like one of the wooden floorboards, right? There's like a wooden floorboard that's loose. It's not nailed down.
Mhm.
And he lifts it up. He's like, "Here, help me with this." And you guys lift it up, and he pulls out just a big shotgun.
Yeah.
And says, "There you go." And he kind of hands it to you.
And I'm like, well, and this will work.
Yeah, he may be a necromancer, but he still bleeds. He's still human.
Oh, well, thanks. I I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll
like-
see what I can do.
He's like, "Okay."
Jesus
There was one
Christ.
thing to do. Awesome. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back at like 5 till. Okay. All right, Jennifer, are you there?
Yes.
Cool. I love this text thing. And little Jerome wakes up with two strange college girls in the apartment. Dad of the year. Okay, so Jerome, you've escaped to safety. No problem. What was the choice that you made on the escape, Jerome?
Oh, I owe Gabby a debt.
Okay, got it. And Landon, you're going to be able to get to the Yellow House, no problem. We'll get to that in a second. And Frankie, you have a shotgun. You can put that in your gear if you wish. Gabby, though. Gabby, you were taken over by Grigor. I think it's like a really quick, not a permanent magic, obviously. It kind of like, you find yourself having fed on this girl. And I think she's dead. And Grigor says, if you want to put body in back of my truck, I always can use more bodies.
So, is he still in control of me?
No, I think you're coming out of it.
And does he know that?
Yeah, I think he knows.
Okay. So I think I drop the body and I kind of stand up and look at him and I say, why did you make this personal?
You guys said, why do you make this personal? Is that what you asked?
Yeah. Why did you make this personal?
There is nothing personal here. This is business.
I think that you have made business and hurt the wrong people.
What are you going to do about it, vamp? Little vamp girl.
We'll see. I think we'll see. And I think I'll just turn and stride away.
Okay, good. And Landon. Okay, so first of all, Frankie, you have a shotgun. You're expecting Grigor to come back. What is your plan for when Grigor comes back, Frankie?
I have no plan. Are you kidding me?
I mean, are you just going to stand by
You
the
get
door?
visions of the future and you have no plan?
You going to stand by the frame of the door and just blow them away, or like what? Like,
I expected a little bit more from the ghosts. So I'm a little deflated, to be quite honest. So I'm just kind of like what happens is Landon comes in and he just sees me kind of like despondently looking at this shotgun in my hands. I'm just like I look at Landon and I'm like, I don't know, like, ghosts aren't as helpful as you'd think they'd be.
Ghosts?
Yeah, Grigor had a whole bunch of ghosts and Gatorade bottles, and I let him go because, we're trying to get rid of Grigor, right? And, I figured, we could use all the help that we could get, but it turns out ghosts are really stupid and not really all that helpful. And so I have this shotgun now. But that's it. So that was, I mean, I guess it's nice that they're not in Gatorade bottles anymore. I wouldn't want to be in a Gatorade bottle, would you?
No, I wouldn't want to be in a Gatorade bottle.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, at least I did the right thing. Well, anyway,
you get a
do you want to
text
help?
from Charlie that says,
So I'm going to what's the text say? Let's say what the text says.
Charlie is
first.
texting you. He says, are you there Are you there yet? You're looking for bottles. Ghosts in bottles.
So I turn to I think I need to do a move.
What are you trying to get done here? Or what kind of move are you thinking about firing off?
I'm going to try to get behind Frankie.
To why?
I think I have like some of the officer's handcuffs. I'm gonna try and cuff her.
You're trying to cuff Frankie.
Jesus Christ! No!
So the plan is you're going to just like sneak behind Frankie and cuff Frankie.
Sneak?
Yeah, you trust me, right? You have no reason to.
It's true. I don't. I have no reason to suspect you of anything.
It's probably keep your cool. What do you want to avoid here?
I want to avoid her realizing what I'm doing before it's done.
Fair enough. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and roll.
Cool is with spirit. Okay. I don't have any spirit. Snake eyes.
Oh, shit, dude.
What was the result?
2.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful. I think he winds up accidentally handcuffing himself.
I have some thoughts here. Let me see how I want this to go. I feel like it's. I mean, Frankie's seeing what's about to happen is one thing, of course, right? That's no big deal.
Yeah.
But I get to make a move of my choice, and
Oh, Jesus Christ!
okay, all right, I got a handle on this, but I'm gonna cut back to Jerome for a minute. Jerome, when you get back to the apartment, your son is there in the living room, and he says, "Daddy, who are they?"
They're just a couple friends that the dad's helping out tonight. They've their house has been caught on fire, and they don't have any place to stay. So I told them that for tonight they could sleep here.
Mommy says that if you bring any women home while I'm here, I'm supposed to tell her.
That is legit not her business. And if she wants to, she can discuss that with me. You tell her whatever you want.
So your house burned down?
Why are you awake, first of all? It's like 5 a.m., kid. You got to get to sleep. You're going to school in 3 hours, no more, or 2 hours. I don't need any cheek right now. You need to get some sleep so you can be up in the morning and have a great day at school. Okay, kid?
I can't fall asleep.
That you're going to have to try, mister. You are going to have to lie there and lie awake until you eventually, hopefully, can fall asleep.
Can I have some cereal?
You can have some cereal in 2 hours when we wake up and I take you to school. You will not have cereal right now.
And I think Melissa's friend Brenda is like, "Oh yeah, cereal sounds really good. Do you have cereal?"
I shoot a look at her look, please, let's not push things right now. Cereal at approximately 6:45 a.m.
And Brenda's like, "But our house just burned down. You wouldn't give us cereal if we asked for cereal?"
I'm like, "All right, the two of you, your house just burned down. You can have cereal. Jerome Jr., you can have cereal when your house burns down, but not to give you any ideas."
Why do they get to have cereal? And they don't even live here.
They're staying here because their house burned down. I don't know why this is so difficult for you to have a little bit of empathy for these poor young women. Please go to sleep. Am I persuading this little shit or what?
Yeah, he's gonna do what you want because you're his dad, but
Right, I've got like permanent, like I permanently have like debt on him or whatever.
I do feel like, however, I do feel like you to some degree you are shirking your responsibilities to the mortal world, though.
You just told me about corruption. By making my son go to bed, I'm shirking my responsibilities. I'll mark it.
Because you brought these two like strange women home
That's a good
who are
point.
being
That is a
attacked by
good point.
zombies.
You're right. You're right. All right, so that gets me a new corruption move. Gotta figure out what I'm going to take now.
Brenda's like, your little boy seems really nice.
He is nice most of the time, but right now he's really got to rest up before school in the morning. Come on, son, get to bed.
That's after he's in bed. We'll say he's in bed. This is after he's in bed. She says that.
Yeah, no, he's a good kid. How you like those Frosted Flakes?
I think Brenda's like, so what happened back there? Who were those guys that were breaking into the house? Like, it was crazy.
I think they were some friends of Gabby's, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's my place to explain this one. I don't fully know myself.
I think at a certain point, Melissa will like crash out on the couch, like she'll kind of fall asleep or whatever. And Brenda's a basic white girl. Let's just throw it out there. And and Brenda will, I think, like once Melissa's asleep and you're kind of there. I don't know if you're just kind of like unwinding or whatever. How do you unwind? Like, how are you unwinding at the end of this? Like crazy.
I've like poured myself another drink at the end of this point. This is my second time unwinding on a glass of hard liquor tonight.
I think Brenda will sit down at the table with you and she'll be like, so I've always kind of wondered what it would be like to do it with a black guy.
So I look at her and like I'm kind of skeptical, but I'm also like, I like sigh and I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go do it. I'm like so stressed out that I'm like ready to just take this one.
Not like basic Brenda. No.
If she talks too much, if she talks too much at all, like beyond that line, I'm gonna be like, shh.
Be quiet, basic Brenda. All right.
You don't need to talk. Just enjoy this for what it is.
Awesome. I guess that's your intimacy move, right?
Yeah, but when it only applies when it's someone who is not mortal. So okay. Unless she's basic Brenda. She's definitely mortal.
Definitely not supernatural. Good. That was a fun scene. We'll cut there. Okay, well, so Gabby, where do you head after this encounter with Gregor?
I think once I get my senses back to me, I'm going to call Jerome. I assume that it won't go through. He's turned off his phone.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. You've gotten your calls in for the night. You've gotten your late night phone call.
That's right.
He's turning that sucker off.
And it's one of those things. I'm just going to assume that Jerome got Melissa free and everything's good. I think my first stop would be to find Elder Langdon. Because I talked to him about Gregor's growing power before. Mm-hmm. I want to find out if he knew that he could possess us.
Right. And are you aware of the possible connection between Gregor and Senator Langston?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Who was that revealed to? That was revealed to someone, I feel like. Oh,
early in
this
Jerome. It was Jerome. Yeah. All right, good. Okay, so vamps are up at night. No problem. You can, you want to just go to his office or whatever. Go to his lair.
Yeah.
Where do you find him?
I don't think I find him in his office as a state senator. Mm-hmm. I think I find him like in the catacombs under the bridge, under the Congress Street Bridge, because it would be in the middle of the night, of course.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense that a senator would be up at 4:30 in the morning, but it would make sense that he would be in his I forget what they call it, but in his lair, basically.
Yeah, his nest or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make you roll hit the streets here because you already kind of know what he wants and what he's up to, so it'd be kind of strange. I think when you find him, I think he has like a space down there that's like decorated, done up with like decor or things that remind him of like the old country, right? Like he's not actually from here, right? He puts on this Southern gentleman affect, but he's a really ancient vampire, you know? And I think we see like, you know, I think he's got like this chamber that he has in the subterranean space. I think he's got like, you know, Turkish rugs, you know, and like big Baroque oil paintings and all that kind of stuff, right? Art objects and whatnot. And he's wearing a plum colored smoking jacket, right? When you come in. And he says, Gabby Reyes, I was wondering if you're going to come see me again tonight. Did you take care of that little problem?
I think that problem will not be bothering you anymore.
So you killed her?
I did not. We talked about this, and you said you left it up to me. But if she crosses you again, I will. And I'll make sure that she's gone out of your hair.
Gabby, we're vampires. I didn't think I had to be so explicit about what I wanted you to do to her. I thought you were going to rip her throat out with your teeth.
True, but if she's gone, she's gone. I'm here to actually talk to you about something more important. The last time we spoke about someone whose power was growing within the city. Did you know?
Necromancer, yes.
Yeah.
Don't worry about him. There's nothing to worry about there.
He was making an attack on some prey, and whenever I came across him, he cast a spell on me and took me over. I think that's a danger.
Where were you that you were around when he was attacking somebody? Where was this taking place?
Oh, this was down near campus. You know that campus is a great great hunting ground. And I was down there whenever I saw him attacking a house full of young sorority girls, young college girls. And I got too close, and he made some magic on me.
Well, why did you get too close? What do you care if he's attacking some human down near campus? Well, hell, we all do it. I mean, we all have our reasons. It's none of our business. What were you even involved for?
Oh, there was prey out, and I killed one of them. But
I think he stands up. He's gonna like pull Elder Vamp card on you right now. I think he stands up and like, you know, and he kind of like, you know, does that like, you know, Gandalf at the Council of Elrond thing, you know, like where he looks all like tall and menacing and a shadow is cast, right? And, you know, and he says, you're lying to me. I can tell. What's going on? Why were you there?
Did you not know that Gregor could take control of us? That he has power over us?
I had an idea, but it's very, very low wizard magic. It doesn't last long. It's much easier when the undead is unintelligent, but we're smart. He can't control us that long. It's not that big of a deal, not that big of a danger. Did he make you do something that you regret?
No, but I don't like being taken control over, just like you wouldn't be like being taken control over. You don't find this to be dangerous?
I find it to be just the price of doing business in this city. I also don't think this is any of our business. Why were you there? I repeat the question.
I have told you.
I think you need to try to like
mislead.
Yeah, I think it's a mislead distractor trick. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what I rolled.
Because he clearly doesn't. He's not buying your story. Like
I rolled a 3, or I rolled a 4, and I think.
Okay.
Oh, that makes it a 5. So I got a 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
um, I think he's like, um, he's looking at you and he's doing that thing that vamps do. Like they kind of, like elder vamps are especially good at it, right? Like they call it like, they believe that like you can look into the eyes of another vamp and like together you can travel through the veil of time and look and see what we can see, right? Um, and he's got that glazed over look, and he says, "You were protecting the human that he was attacking."
I think at that point I bow my head and I say, she's a distant relative of mine, and
Distant
um,
relative of yours.
I
So
did
you
not
put
want
yourself
contact.
in danger. You insisted on stepping on necromancer territory, thereby potentially sparking a war with the wizards to protect your human relative.
I thought that the hunting ground of the college campus, the university campus, was open to all. But if you say I stepped out of bounds, I'll take that.
And I'm going to cut the scene right there.
So I have a question. I have a
Yeah.
mechanical question. I have a debt on Senator Langston.
Hmm.
And one of the things I can do is he could give me a debt that they hold on someone else. Would he have a debt on Gregor?
I don't think he does, but let me look.
Okay.
Um,
Anyway,
no,
we
he's
can
got
cut
one
there. I
on
just wanted
you.
to ask.
Yeah. I mean, I think one thing you might be able to do though is you might be able to cash in that debt for just to get him to forget about this, right?
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to
Okay.
make a bigger deal out of it than
Okay.
so. But we might get to that in a minute. So back at the Yellow House.
Oh god.
So what did you do? So you were trying to handcuff Frankie, and that did not. Maybe you did that. I think you do. In fact, you grab Frankie, you handcuff her, and as you're like doing that, Frankie, how are you? What are you thinking? How are you reacting? Just out of curiosity.
Get your Landon. We are friends, and this is uncalled for. I'm not. I didn't know you were into women. First of all, and second of all, it's not really. I'm not into you. So these. Can you please stop this?
I think at that point, Grigor just like steps right into the living room, like from outside. And he sees this. He sees you like on your knees, kind of landed, like, wrestling with Frankie, like having like handcuffed her. He sees AJ, the ghost, and he says, "What is going on here?" And he like immediately like goes back to the back room where all those Gatorade bottles are supposed to be. And he just like screams. He's like, "Fuck!" And he like turns and he like stomps back out to where you guys are. And he says, "Which one of you did this?"
It was Gilda. It was Gilda and Tommy. I tried to stop them, but they were possessed by AJ.
You need to do mislead, distract, or trick. I don't think.
Okay. All right. Let's
Blame it on Gilda.
Oh, and that's with heart.
It's with mind.
Oh, it's with mind.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, good. That's a 7.
Okay.
It was
So
close.
on a hit, they're fooled, at least for a moment. On a 7 to 9, pick 2 from the list.
Okay. All right. 2 from the list.
Under mislead, distract, or trick.
Okay. I expose a weakness for Flaw,
Okay.
and
I've
and I
I've got that
created,
covered. All right, yeah. And then what else?
and I think I'm gonna create an opportunity as well.
Okay, I think this might all kind of roll up into the same thing here, in a way. He like says he's like, Gilda, how could you do this to me? I loved you. And he,
And then I'm like, okay, that's enough out of you.
yeah, and I think he's like, I think the opportunity is he's like momentarily does not assess what the fuck you're doing, Landon. Like, why are you here? Why are you here with her in handcuffs?
Yeah, so I just take her and I like go and like shove her out the door. And then I turn around and I'm like, I've been sent to meet you by a potential business partner and found that one here as the other ones ran off. Looks like she couldn't stop them from getting rid of your stuff, but maybe we can start a new venture.
He's like, who are you?
And I'm like, I'm trying to think if I want to tell him my real name. My name's Chris.
Your name is Chris.
Yeah.
Who do you work for, Chris?
Mr. Apple.
I work for, let's just say, and like I think for a second I'm like, have you heard of Mr. Appleby? And then I pick up the little feather thing, and I'm like, you don't want to mess with him, and I put it back in my pocket.
That's good. I think he's like, he's not really feeling your thing necessarily well. So I think he's suspicious of you. Obviously, there's some suspicion going on. I think you're going to need to. I think you're gonna have to trick him. You have to trick him.
Yeah, so I walk over to him and put my arm around him, and I'm like, you may see this as a setback, but this is an opportunity to start fresh with a partnership.
Okay, so I think I was gonna have you roll mislead, distract, or trick, but I think because you had the opportunity from Frankie's role, I think you just need to like probably persuade him, or at the very least, you have to explain yourself more. But I'm gonna cut from there. Frankie, you're outside the front yard with handcuffs on behind your back. What do you do?
Jeez Louise. So he's just in the door frame, and I've been kind of put outside, and I've got these handcuffs on.
Right, yeah.
Oh goodness. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna I'm going to. So, am I in view of Grigor
I
at
think
all?
he's distracted by Landon. So like if you wanted to run, you could probably do that, right?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna try to get out. Yeah, I'm gonna run. I don't know where.
You're just gonna run. You could
No.
just run. You don't need to roll escape or anything. Just
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna
where
run.
you
I'm gonna run
go.
toward the. I'm gonna go to the spider house, and yeah, and just kind of crash there for the night.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, it sounds like basically the night will be over, except for this little moment with Landon and Grigor. I think. What is your approach? Like when you say you're going to work out a deal with him, what do you tell him?
Yeah, I tell him you obviously need someone, to back you up, and that's what I'm here for. My boss, he's interested in seeing this market, seeing where this market goes, and he doesn't want you out of the game.
You going to flash him
So
a little demon to convince him? Or are you just going to like try to, because otherwise he doesn't know you from.
yeah, and then yeah, I grabbed something, and I'm like, I'm sure that you'll have no problem believing that I can hold my own. And then I pick up this ashtray,
Mhm.
and yeah, I just like crush it.
Mhm. Nice. Let me have a persuade. Let's see how that goes. I'm going to cut over to Gabby real briefly just to see, like, just to get the debt spend on Senator Langston, and then we'll go on a quick break. How'd the persuade roll go?
Let's see. Nine.
Okay. They modify the terms of demanded debt. I think I'm just gonna take a debt on you.
Okay. And so yeah, I'm like, so why don't you show me around the place? And
he's-
I want to like investigate this place as a place of power.
okay, we can come back to that.
Yeah.
Gabby, Senator Langston's not happy with you right now, and so are you going to do that like we talked about? Are you going to spend that debt, or do you want to do something else?
Yeah, so I think the way that this actually looks is Langston, starts to say, I could exile you for this or something like that. And that's
Yeah.
whenever Gabby says, I've helped you out in the past,
Hmm.
and this is me cashing in a debt
Yeah.
that you'll keep my secret safe.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, fine, fine, but I hope that when we get ready to expand our interests within the city, you don't go soft on us when it comes to the humans.
I understand. I think that, and I kind of take some of the dried blood off the, side of my chin and say, I think we're fine.
Indeed. Let's take a quick, just a quick break and come back. Okay, a few minutes. I'm kind of in love with basic Brenda.
I love your characterization of Grigor. I'm just so happy with just like his existence in this game. It's just is keeping me going.
I'm very bad at accents, and so I hope that I know it's not a good accent, but at least I hope it's like
it's a perfect accent for Grigor.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, it fits Grigor at least, hopefully. I'm pretty good at voices. Like if I do a voice, but not an accent. An accent's different to me. So.
Yeah.
All right. You were going to try to investigate the Yellow House as a place of power. That can happen the next day. There's no need to do it all right then, right? You guys have had a long night. The next day, I just want to go around the table and find out what you're all going to do, what you are doing. I think at the outset, you may have to have a conversation with Evelyn at the Spider House. Frankie, just FYI. But otherwise, I'd be curious, what are you each getting up to, Gabby?
So I think what happens is Gabby, after her talk with Langston, goes to, or Langdon, goes to Jerome's
It's Langston,
place.
yeah.
Langston goes to Jerome's place. And this is probably, she knows that he has his son. So she's probably going to get there about the time they would head off for school.
And isn't Naomi supposed to be getting the sun and getting out of there too? Isn't that a thing that's supposed to be happening?
Naomi's supposed to be getting out of there. She said she would.
Yeah. Seems like a great time for Naomi to show up. Throw that out there. So Gabby, you're going to be at Jerome's place. I'm into that. Jerome, what about you? Just at the start of the morning here, anything you want to do or what you're thinking?
I'd actually forgotten at least briefly about the whole Naomi business and them getting out of town. I think that slipped Jerome's mind too through all this stuff. So he's just getting Jerome Jr. dressed and ready for school.
Yeah.
Jerome Jr. did in fact sleep last night. I had to wake him up in the morning. Little liar. So I've got him his backpack's packed and he's eating his damn Frosted Flakes.
Nice, good. And what about you, Landon? What do you do? Did you stay at the Yellow House?
Yeah, I crashed on his couch. I think in the morning, I wake up and I go peek in at him sleeping.
Okay, all right. He's probably asleep. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to just investigate this place a bit.
Okay. Yeah,
walk around and look at things.
Yeah. And what about you, Frankie? I mean, I think Evelyn will probably make you a cup of coffee or whatever. Maybe you crash in the office, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. No, she comes in on me and in the office, and I'm asleep with my hands cuffed behind my back on the floor.
Right, exactly.
And she wakes me up, and I'm oh, hey, Abby, hey, what do you have any way of getting these things off? I had a rough night.
She's there with some young guy who works at the coffee shop, a classic barista, right? Somewhat scrawny, bearded young white guy, right, in Austin. And she's like, yes, of course. And they go and they undo you. And she says, what happened last night, Frankie? What have you been up to?
Well, Lenny, I lament to even think about it at this point. But I've been thinking about the business that I'm in, and just is it really for me anymore. It's not what it used to be. You know, things are changing all the time, and I don't know how to deal with it. You know, it's just how do you keep up with the times, Lenny? How
She
do you
says,
keep up with the times?
Frankie, you're about, what, let's say 26, 27 years old, maybe?
Yeah, thereabouts.
That's retirement age in Austin. I mean, you're go do art, go work at a video store. You know, there's all kinds of things you could do in town.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, this whole
Go
business.
work at a shop where they sell hats for men.
Hmm. I don't really fit the bill for that particular situation. Um, I've also never seen men wear hats. Uh, but okay, you're right. I maybe I'm just getting too caught up in everything these days.
Hmm.
Um, oh, Lenny, what would I do without you?
I don't know, but I'll tell you that I'm feeling full of vim, vigor, and vitality ever since you slipped me that little thing the other day.
Ah, yeah. You know what? You know what, Lenny? I think I need to. I think I'm in bad with Grigor, and I need to do something to get him out of the picture. Do you think? I mean, do you think you could help?
Well, dear, Grigor provides a very worthwhile service in this city, in this neighborhood, in this city. I mean, he's he's engaged in a dangerous trade that is vital to so many of us.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but ever since then, you know, things have just been going real bad for me, and I'm just, I don't know why. You know, things were pretty normal until that day. I guess that was, uh,
And
what,
she says,
Tuesday?
Frankie, dear, Frankie. And she turns to the young guy and she's like, you can go ahead and open up the shop. I'll be out there in a minute. He goes. And she shuts the office door behind her. And she says, she sits down next to you and she says, I feel bad for you, Frankie. I can tell that you're a tormented soul. I can tell that this life is a very difficult, challenging one for you. And I ask myself, what can I do to help Frankie out? What can I do to put her mind at ease? And then
And?
she just bares her fangs. And we cut there.
Jeez.
So, Gabby, you are at. So, I think the scene is, it's morning. Jerome, you're getting little Jerome ready for school or possibly to be picked up by his mother. It's a little unclear. Um, you have two young grad school age women in your home. They're all kind of sitting around. Gabby, you can show up on scene.
Yeah, so I think that I kind of knock at the door, and I don't know who answers.
Who does answer, Jerome?
Basic Becky answers, of course. I'm like busy with the kids. I think Basic Becky like wearing
Brenda,
wearing like one of my t-shirts and like probably not much else.
Yeah, Brenda answers, and yeah, and Melissa's there too, right? Like, she's like, oh, hey, Gabby, da, da, da. Brenda answers, and she's like, oh, hey, and then Melissa will recognize you, and that's all going on, right? You're all having a little moment here. Do you go inside?
Yeah, I think I go inside, and I think I eye Becky.
Brenda. Yeah.
Brenda. I think I eyed Brenda.
Hard to tell these Becky's apart.
Yeah. And then step in and say, to Melissa, we need to talk. So,
yeah, she's like, sure, yeah, what's up?
your boss, has it out for you, and
Do you
I
think
think
that's what
there's a
last
lot
night was about?
yeah, and I think that a lot of people are going to be leaving town, and I think you might need to be one of them.
And speaking of which, speak her name and she shall appear, even though you didn't quite say her name. Naomi, the door is still slightly ajar, and Naomi walks in, right? And I think she sees little Jerome there. She sees Gabby, who was threatening violence against her if she didn't get out of town, there as well. And she like starts freaking out Jerome. She like screams at Gabby. She's like, "Get away from my son!" And she's like going for her handbag. I think she's got like a little 22 or something in her handbag. Jerome, what do you do?
A 22? Oh my god! All right, just pulling some little gun out, and I'm like, I'm just, I'm jumping up and like running at her, like being just like, yo, calm the fuck down. Everything's fine. Little Jerome's eating his cereal. Don't like make this get crazy.
She says, Jerome, we cannot be near that woman. We've got to go. We've got to go.
Jerome, and I go, look, I agree. It seems like there's some people that really want you out of this town, and I think you better listen. I think you and little Jerome, unfortunately, got to get out of here as soon as possible.
And she says, "What is this all about? Night Noms? What's going on?"
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Night Noms is a lot more than you thought it was when you initially signed on there. They're doing some really criminal stuff, and if you've already poked too far, they want you to disappear.
And now that she's calmed down, she'll kind of like casually point the gun, like, over at Brenda and be like, "And what is she doing here?" Looking at Brenda in like your t-shirt, right?
I'm like, please put the gun away. She came here with Gabby. She's a friend of Gabby's. No need to worry too much about that. Don't get distracted.
And that's when little Jerome says, "Their house burned down last night."
And I go, yes, their house burned down last night. I offered to give these two young women a place to stay.
These two young women's house burned down last night, and they just ran over here to ask you for assistance.
Maybe their house didn't burn down. Maybe some crazy necromancer is banging on their door with an army of zombies. Like, why is it your business?
Roll mislead, distraction, or trick.
Oh, that's a 3+ whatever. It doesn't matter. That's a 3+2. It's a 5, so almost something. Okay. Yeah.
She's like, "Jerome, I'm very grateful that you were going to help me out looking into this Night Noms thing, but right now I'm really freaking scared. And also right now I'm really, really, really angry because even despite all of this, despite the fact that myself and your son are being threatened with bodily injury, and you were responsible for protecting him, that you decided to have 2 floozies over." She says, "I'm done, Jerome. We're done. I am going to go and get the custody order changed so that you never, ever get to spend any more time with your son again."
All right, get out of here.
Christmas.
Leave town. Get out of here safely, and I will talk to my lawyer about this. If
He's
you're
like,
serious.
Come on, Jerome III. And I think he he's upset because
Jerome's probably crying. I'm like, it's all right, Jerome. This is not.
He's upset because you guys are, yeah.
Remember, she had a gun, little Jerome. If you're ever asked about this, remember she was waving a gun around.
And they'll go. Yeah, they'll go.
All right.
So, yeah. So, Gabby, continuing this scene, what do you want Melissa to go do?
So I think that in this case, I tell Melissa, the problem here is that your boss or ex-boss has it out for you, so you need to leave town as quickly as possible to someplace where he won't be able to find you.
But what about like, and then she starts rattling off like various tias and and grandmother and all this other stuff, right? Like other people in the family. She's like, are we all in danger here?
Um, I think you were the only one dealing with Gregor. Is that right?
Yeah, but he's crazy. Like he'll go after them to get to me.
Not if you're gone.
What do you mean?
If you're gone,
Like
why would he go after them?
gone? Like gone or what? What are we talking about here?
Well, I meant you were out of town. I didn't mean, you were, dead. Because if you're just looking to be dead, then, Gregor's got you covered.
Well, I thought maybe we were going to fake my death or something, like the witness protection program.
I don't know if we're that good.
So
So
you want me to just leave town, leave my program that I've been working on? Like I'm in the middle of having to give my dissertation. I'm prepared. I've got a lot going on right now, Gabby.
I understand that, but I think you also started dealing, and this might be a consequence of that.
You're going to try to persuade her to get out?
I'm sure. Or at least hide out for a while.
Yeah.
So this is heart. That is a 10.
She's like, all right, you're right. This is the best thing for me to do is just to lay low for a while.
Actually, I think it's the best thing, not just for you, but it's also the best thing for the family, because if you disappear, then there's no reason to go after them.
All right. Yeah, sure. I've got it in hand. Thanks. She looks at you, Jerome. Thank you for your help.
Has Naomi left?
Yeah, Naomi's gone. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I was going to suggest that they both go to the same place.
Yeah,
They both leave town at the same time.
And then Melissa will be like, all right, come on, Brenda, let's go. And Brenda's like turns to you, Jerome, and she's like, so like, will I ever see you again?
I don't know. This has been a pretty long night and a long morning. Maybe.
Hold that hope.
I give her like a quick kiss.
Awesome. Let's go to Landon. So Landon, let's do the investigative mystery. It's early morning in the house. Investigate a place of power, rather. Roll with the faction. That's going to be power.
I have 1.
And that also fills up your track, too.
7.
All right. When you investigate a place of power, roll a faction that owns it. On a hit, you see below the surface to the reality underneath. All right, cool. Great. So, what kinds of information were you trying to find out, possibly? What were you looking for?
I want to find some indication of his contacts or something, like, or maybe I guess maybe some indication of his operation, like the how is he getting the spirits. Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. I think what you're going to find is, I think as you're kind of like looking around, I think there's like a basement in the house. And if you like go poking around down in the basement, you're going to find what appears to be a quite sophisticated ritual setup. Okay. There is a circle drawn on the ground with various symbols drawn with, like, charcoal and there's, candles and incense and things. But importantly, there's a little shelf with a bunch of like empty Gatorade bottles with the stickers pulled off, right? So he must do something where he like lures them here. He does something. He's part of the supply chain in some way, right?
Right. So what I'll do is I think I want to use Tendrils in the Dark and seek the guidance of my patron. And I think what I do to kind of make it sort of a ritual is I'm just going to go back up to Grigor's room, and while he's still asleep, I'm just going to start giving him a blowjob.
Nice. This is how you're doing your tendrils.
This is how I'm doing it. Yes,
of some sort, right?
Yeah.
Good. I like it. Roll plus spirit.
And
nice. All right. Roll plus spirit. On a hit, the signs and signals are laid out before you. Take +1 forward if you follow the path. So I think as you are, Grigor's not expecting this, obviously.
Well, I'm a guy, so he wouldn't just start something with me. So
yeah, but he's like, I think at first he's like a little like, what is going on, right? Like what are you doing, right? But then when he realizes what you're doing, he's like, I think he's kind of getting into it, and as you're like kind of going down on him, he's like, necromancers know something about big bones, huh?
Oh yeah.
and it's all happening or whatever. This guy's a dope, right? And he's a necromancer. He's clearly good at what he does, but like at the end of the day, he's kind of a dope. And it's pretty clear, I think, like what Charlie would want you to do is to level with Grigor, like just be totally honest with him, who you work for and what he's up to, and convince Grigor to basically like become thrall to Charlie, like just to join up with Charlie straight away.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, and so I basically get him as close to climax as possible, and then I'm just going to kind of torture him a bit in that moment, and tell him, and I ask him, do you like that? Do you like what we bring you?
Yeah, I think it's like probably the best blowjob he's ever got, right? Like,
right. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna be like, say you'll serve him forever. Say you'll serve Charlie forever.
Yeah. I think so. Per your intimacy move, he's supposed to give you a debt that he holds on someone else. I think but he doesn't. He only holds one on you at this point. So I think what I'm going to interpret this to be is basically like he's just going to do it, right? Like he's just going to join your team, And he's like, And he like after do you finish him off or what?
I'll do it after he says yes.
After he commits,
and
he's
then
like, I think at a certain point he's just kind of like freaking out because like you won't like finish the job, and he's like, all right, I will talk to Charlie. All right, and yeah,
and yeah, and as soon as it's done, I just stand up and I'm completely over it and cool. And and then I'm like, welcome to the team.
Back to Frankie. Evelyn has just bared her fangs.
Well, hold on, Lenny. Hold on. You owe me something. Like we've got a long friendship going back years, and I'm just asking for your help here. That's all. And this is not something that I want. I recognize that I seem like a mess. I recognize that. And that maybe in your mind, my life would be better off serving your belly. But I think what needs to happen is I gotta level with you. Let's real talk here. That's what's important. Is just making sure we're on the same page, because this is not the page I'm on. I'm on a completely different chapter in a completely different book, my friend. Now let's calm down, put them away, and let's just talk.
Since you do have the debt on her, she will talk. I'm not gonna make you spend it, but she will be like, yes, sorry, I sometimes let my more base feral instincts get the better of me. Even elder bats like me sometimes slip into that mode. Let's talk. So do you want to spend the debt on her to get her to do something you want her to do, or what?
Yeah, I think like I really want to fucking kill Grigor. And like that is like my sole concern right now, is getting him out of the picture permanently. And so I want her help in doing that, because
you can spend it to make her give you a worthy and useful gift without cost, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'll take it.
She says, listen, I can't help you move on Grigor myself. Grigor has connections to some of the other elders. There are big things in the works. But I do owe you. I want to help you. And she kind of like goes, and she says, she goes into her office desk, and she pulls out this talisman on a chain, right? And she says, I wear this whenever I have to deal with wizards. And she goes and puts it around your neck. It's a sort of it's basically like a pentagram, but it's a pentagram that it's like slightly off. Like it's not a perfect pentagram. Like there's something weird about the geometry of it, right? And she says, many centuries ago, we went to war with witches, and these little treasures were very, very helpful in steering clear of their magics. I managed to keep one. I still have one. This is quite valuable. Just bring it back when you're done with Grigor.
Yeah, of course. Anything for you, Lenny. This is I really appreciate this. You're a good friend, Lenny, and I'm sorry if this is going to make your life a little more difficult, but you know, I know we're in it together, and I appreciate that you're on my side. Thank you.
And she says, well, I have to go now. There are scones to be toasted and coffee to be poured. And she goes out to the front.
You're the best, Lenny. She leaves.
She does. Well, so we still got a little bit of session left. So Gabby and Jerome, where do you guys head now? What's going on? We'll say various people are gone now. Maybe it's just the two of you left.
So if Naomi's leaving town, then my business with the vampire camp is probably a little bit less pressing than her business with Gregor.
Yeah, if she was still going to be in town, investigating Night Noms was still going to be kind of like a thing you'd have to do for her, right? But because Gabby intervened, it's not as necessary. Although maybe getting the vamps off her case would be a thing, but
possibly at some point during this, I've like washed and cleaned up a little bit of like the acid I got sprayed on at the start of this whole adventure. I don't know like what the guidelines are for healing harm, but like I've probably made some basic attempts to.
Yeah, I mean, you always can heal one if you just sleep, right? So
okay.
Yeah.
So I think I tell Jerome, taking on the vampires is very dangerous because there's many of them and there's a network. Taking on Gregor, however, isn't nearly as dangerous because there's only one of him.
I go, look, I fully understand that, but I don't have any beef with Gregor. I'll be frank with you. If you want, me to help you out here, then, I'd be open to it. But I'm going to want you to help me, make some connections, help infiltrate and help get some more details on the vampires.
Well,
I'm not gonna take on a necromancer like just for the hell of it. Like I've already seen what he can do. I mean, last time we went out together, you tried to kill me.
True. It seems that so certainly I can try and help you as much as I can with the vamps, but I'm not in real good with them right now. They're not very happy with me, especially, one of the elders.
I'm gonna ask you to help me today. I'm asking you to help me out in tomorrow or in a week.
I'll always be there for you, Jerome. It's
okay.
Why once I found out that Naomi was your ex, it's why I made sure that she was safe and not dead.
Yeah, I absolutely appreciate that. So what do you want to do about Gregor?
Well, I think maybe by taking out Gregor, we might be able to cripple some of the vamps because they have some kind of deal, and getting Gregor out of the way might make the vampires powerless.
Right. So I mean, and how do you want to get? Yeah.
How about we just take Gregor out? Do you know anyone who could help us with that?
I mean, I know Frankie's, been trying to get out from under his thumb, but I mean, she knows the future. I don't know if she's gonna help us kill a necromancer. We can always see what she's up to. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking someone who was a little bit more of a heavy hitter.
I mean, there's always Landon. There's always Landon.
Thanks.
I mean, Landon's a little bit dangerous. You know that. He could be dangerous to Gregor potentially as well. I mean, that's an option.
Yeah. Maybe we should do that. Let's give Frankie and Landon a call and see if they would help out.
I want to cut to Landon momentarily. Landon, you can mark a corruption because you convinced someone to for your dark patron, right? So
Cool. So when I get to 6, that's when I pick a corruption.
no, you
move?
don't have to mark the gray one. I just didn't know what else to do with that extra gap I had there. So yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
now I would take a corruption move.
You take a
then.
corruption move now, and actually you need one too, Jerome. So
I took the vamp move irresistible as my improvement.
okay.
Makes sense. So yeah, what's going on? What are we doing?
Yeah, so you guys get corruption moves. So you get a phone call, I guess, from either Jerome or Gabby. That's what it sounds like.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I'll probably, Gabby will probably call Landon and say, so some serious stuff has been going on over the past day or two. Can we meet up and talk about it?
You want to meet up? Sure. Where?
Well, let's meet up at the Spider House. That's pretty central.
Spider House. What's that place again? Is that
It's a
the
coffee shop.
okay,
Those
yeah.
are Evelyn. It's Evelyn's.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll meet you there. I'm hoping to catch Frankie anyway.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'll hang up. Yeah. So I turn to Grigor and I'm like, stay here. I've got to go out.
I think he fell back asleep. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I leave. I think before I head over there, I go and I get my bike from the abandoned house that I was squatting in before. Looks like I don't really need to squat there anymore. So.
Indeed. So basically, it's going to be well. So we can say that Frankie, if you want, Frankie, you can still be at the Spider House too. That way, you're all together. Unless you want to. You said you left, then I'll let you have the option there if you want to come back or still be there.
Sure, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I'll be there.
So yeah, you're all there, and have the scene. What's going on?
So I think that once Gabby arrives with Jerome, she sits down and she says, well, there's been some heavy stuff going on. I can't say that I understand any of it, but I know that Gregor is a danger. He seems to be becoming a bigger threat to us vampires than a benefit. So I wanted to see if the two of you would help the two of us take him out.
Here's the plan.
Absolutely.
You guys are going to ignore Grigor and stay the fuck away because I've got it handled.
How's that?
Let's just say that Grigor's made a deal. If I see you guys around there fucking shit up like Frankie did, I will bust some ass. So stay away.
I don't have any beef with Gregor. I just make that clear. I don't have any beef with the guy.
So did you make it clear that Gregor is in cahoots with Charlie now? Or you just said you have it handled?
I said he made a deal.
You backstabbing asshole. I am tired of having this man in my life, and he has got to fucking die. I don't care
Here's what's gonna happen, Frankie. You and I made an arrangement, and you renegade. You fucked things up. I had things in motion, and you set me back so far. I don't even know how I got out of this clean, because if I had walked out of there without something in my hands, then who knows what Charlie would have done to me. And you put me so far on the line. Oh, I cannot stand it. So you're going to do me a favor now. You're going to take this little trinket that I found that I'm pretty sure belongs to Mr. Appleby, and you're just going to figure out what the fuck he's doing. And I just hand it to her.
I am not your fucking bitch. God damn it. I am not your fucking bitch. You whorish demon. You whore of Babylon. I am sick of it. I am sick of all of this. And I take the totem and I just storm out.
So, Gabby, what do you
Jerome
think?
sips his tea.
Grigor came after your family. He's a problem, right? I mean, he seems like, I don't know, there's definitely some shit going on with Grigor, with the Elder Vamps too, right? There's something going on. I mean, how are you going to handle this? Is this a debt situation, maybe?
So I have a debt on Landon, and I also have a debt on Charlie.
And on me.
Yes. So I could call in a debt on Frankie, and she wants to do this anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to convince Landon, even with a debt, because Landon, do you have debts on Charlie? Are those important to you?
Charlie owes me one debt now instead of owing Gabby a debt, because that bloody sex scene we had kind of caused Gabby to forget about it, and he was impressed by it. So,
okay,
yeah, I do technically have a debt on him.
Okay, and I have a debt on him as well. So I'm not sure what I could do to convince Landon, other than just mechanically calling a debt.
What is it exactly that you're trying to get Landon to do?
I think we need to make a power vacuum where Gregor was.
What do you mean by that?
So specifically, he needs to die so that he stops coming after my family.
Okay, so do you tell Landon that?
Yeah. Well, no, I say he needs to die so he stops terrorizing the wrong kind of people.
And Landon kind of leans forward and he's like, that's up to Charlie now. But I'll tell you this. I don't like Grigor either. And if Charlie tells me to, I will take him out in a second.
I mean, Gregor's not really necessary to the whole operation, is he? I mean, I don't know what Charlie really wants out of this, but he could maybe have what he wants.
Is a fucking necromancer. So, yeah, unless you have another one of those laying around.
Look, I mean, I'm a smart guy. I can figure that shit out. Like, it's not that hard. It's all in books.
All I know is that there are things going on here that none of us know what the fuck is going on with. So until I get to the bottom of it for Charlie, Grigor stays. Don't touch a hair on his head, or I swear I will kick your fucking ass.
So it sounds like maybe you're cashing in debts, Landon. I mean, to get them to like hold their fire for a little bit, right?
Sure, yeah.
And you've got one on Jerome. You've got one on Frankie. You don't have one on Gabby. But
I don't have one on Gabby.
You know, I'll tell you what. I think I have an idea of how to work with this. I'll back off of Gregor if you'll owe me a debt, Landon. right?
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
I lean towards Gabby, and I'm like, look, I know you're on the edge. We're a team. What do you want? What can I do to help to get you on board?
So I think basically you'll owe me one, and we'll see how that goes.
Fine.
I might go have a talk with Charlie.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, good luck.
So yeah, I think that Gabby's next move will be to go talk to Charlie.
So we have 8 minutes left in the session. I kind of like, this was a pretty good scene. I kind of feel like maybe this is where it should end.
Okay.
And then kind of pick up from there. Does that sound good, everybody? Is there anything else anybody wants to do? Or
yeah, like maybe a good end note would be if Frankie uses her move on that totem.
Which move?
She has that one move.
Oh,
Psychometry.
Yeah.
oh, psychometry.
As long as you've got a magic totem, I mean.
Right, I might as well use it.
You have a talisman too. You've got a magic. You might be able to figure out the whole damn thing, like what the Damps are up to, what Mr. Appleby is up to.
Oh man, yeah, psychometry. All right. Well, let's get this party started. And I have a ghost shotgun.
Yeah.
It's not really ghost shotgun, but
it's a shotgun. Well, you may not even have that. No, you may not have that though, because remember he handcuffed you and then tossed you onto the street. So actually, you may not have a shotgun after all.
Fucker. I released those ghosts for nothing.
Drama.
Okay, well then I'm going to study. I'm gonna study this talisman, the Appleby one first.
The arrowhead or the little feather thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll spirit.
That's 9. 9. Yeah.
You get to ask one.
Actually, don't you have your foretelling from the beginning of the session that you could use?
True. Yeah.
That would bump you up to a 10.
Yeah, let's do that. But I have to declare something bad is about to happen.
Something bad with Mr. Appleby, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you tell the group about Mr. Appleby?
What do I tell the group about Mr. Do I just make something up?
You make something up, or just you just had a vision, right?
Early on, I kind of lied and got Mr. Appleby interested in Charlie, so you could even reveal something related to that.
Right. No, that's true. Oh yeah, I got a good one. Mr. Appleby and Charlie are together right now. That's what I see. That's what I see. I see this. It doesn't seem good.
Indeed. Do you want to ask 3 questions about this object?
Yeah. Let's see. I suppose. What bans, wards, or limits are attached to this object?
Bans, wards, or limits are attached to this object. Basically, bans or wards, not super relevant. Limits, though, kind of none. You can actually use this thing in a really similar way that Mr. Appleby did, right? You can use it to control mortals.
Okay.
You can put it in your gear, or unless you give it back to.
I'm keeping that shit. Uh,
It's your shotgun consolation prize.
yeah, seriously? Come on. What secrets or mysteries has this object been privy to?
Charlie is in town because so basically Mr. Appleby is like kind of having it out with Charlie, like like attacking Landon. These couple times he's attacked Landon and kind of sending threatening messages to Charlie because Charlie's basically about to lose his place in the greater Demon Lord hierarchy.
Oh, yeah.
And he only is going to be able to like keep it if he takes out Mr. Appleby. But they're also like on professional terms as demons. So they know about each other, they know what they're both up to, and they might have even met already in the city just to like have little verbal tete-a-tete with one another, right? But
what strong emotions have most recently been near this object?
oh. The cop who had his head skewered by Landon's demon claw, that Landon put his claw like right up through his chin and up through his brain. That cop has just recently experienced like an incredible amount of like happiness and joy because, well, do you want to know why? Or because he and his family had just learned that his wife's cancer was in remission.
Aww.
So, yeah. Victims
Well,
of the supernatural
gosh.
wars.
Okay. Well, cool.
I feel like we're good there.
Yeah.
Let's do a little end of session.
Yeah.
Where are we at here? Okay, so if you learn something meaningful about a faction, increase your score in that faction by 1, and decrease your score in a different faction by 1. Just explain it to us. Landon, what do you think?
I'm thinking I learned about power. And that may be it.
You're going to increase your power by 1. You have to decrease one of them.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I increase power to 2 and decrease. Who have I not talked to lately? I feel like it's been a while since I talked to humans. So I'm going to take 1 off humans.
All right, Jerome, I see you have a question mark by your mortality mark.
Oh, that's just by the X because I feel like I don't know. It was a question about the XP because I definitely fucked Becky.
Yeah,
which the initiative would trigger
Brenda, it. Yeah, you. Brenda. I think you get it because you've had like, if nothing else, I feel like you're. Yeah, just having that thing with Brenda was in the spirit of it, I think, for sure.
But I've also had like a ton of mortality shit going on, so like I feel like
it just makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Probably got that one anyway. As far as factions go, I've been learning more about vampires and kind of getting more information. I got that sort of favor from Gabby as well, so it makes sense to level up with Night. I haven't been. Is the Necromancer? Is that under power? That's under power, right?
That's power. Yeah.
Goes down by 1 then.
Okay. Cool. Frankie, what about you?
Well, let's see. gosh. I feel like I learned about wild. I'm going to decrease mortality. And then, wait, how does the XP work?
Oh, you mean how do you get to mark those marks?
Yeah.
Just when you do certain types of moves, faction moves from the basic sheet. So I don't think you hit any after you cleared your stuff. So
No. I cashed in a debt with.
Oh, that's true. Does cashing in a debt give you one? Yeah, that's a good point.
And then.
Did you cash? You cash in with Knight, right? That was Evelyn, right?
And yeah, so.
Yeah, so you can mark one on Knight then, because cashing in debts counts for it. So.
Right. Or honor a debt. I just honored Landon's as well. But does that count since it's not a NPC?
Oh no, that counts too. Did you honor one on Landon?
Yeah, because I took his talisman, and I'm not gonna fuck with Grigor immediately.
Cool, yeah. Oh, sweet. So you can mark one there then too.
Cool.
You did spend that, right, Landon?
Yeah, I did. I had some questions. Do I gain corruption for convincing these fools to lay off Grigor?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Is that one each or just one?
I don't. Let's see here. What does it say? It says mark corruption.
Persuade someone.
Wait, or it says when you persuade someone on your I think you get 3.
All right. And then I get a mark for power because I had intimacy with Grigor, right?
Yes. Yep.
And I spent a debt on Jerome and Francis, so that gets me mortality. And Francis is just
power.
I've already got power.
You've already got one. So
okay. I think I'm all squared away.
Jerome, did you honor that debt? Because you would get to clear your boxes, and I mean, I assume it sounds like you did.
Yeah, I would say so.
You could clear your boxes, take an advancement, and then mark wild. So,
all right.
And Gabby, what about your faction marks?
So I definitely went down a Knight. And I think I learned more. I think I learned more about Charlie and his protecting of Grigor. There at the end. So is that wild?
That's wild. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
And then what about your? Do you get any marks from debts, or did you?
I cashed in a debt with Jerome. I think that was it. I took one on Landon, but
And Langston. You
Yeah.
cashed in one with Langston.
You did cash in with Langston. Yeah, that's Knight. Yeah, it's so easy to forget to mark these things.
Yeah.
Cool. And then in terms of the rest of this move here, just do you think you did any favors that you did not get to get a debt for? If someone did you a favor to cost, tell the group you owe them a debt. If you did someone a favor without redress, tell the group they owe you a debt.
I think that Frankie owes me a debt for getting her out of the Grigor situation. Even though it was a bit ugly, I got her out of it.
I was the one who fast talked out of it. I was the one who blamed it on. I gave you that opening when I blamed it on Gilda.
Yeah, but now Grigor just thinks that you're a waste of space because you couldn't protect his shit, so he doesn't want you around anymore. So
okay, fine. You get another fucking debt on me. Goddamn creepazoid.
Any more debts?
Landon, did I owe you that. Oh no, I marked that you owe me a debt. Yeah, for leaving Gregor alone. Okay.
I could maybe argue an extra one on Gabby because I not only helped save her family and their friends, but I took them back and held them at my apartment for a night, and that kind of got me in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm fine with that. You have like 3 or 4 debts on me already. So
Well, I've been helping you out, okay?
you just have a pet vampire for next time. It's no big deal.
Right.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, is there anything else? Are we all good here?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
I'll be on Discord for a little bit in about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. But for now, for those of you who are not going to be on Discord, thanks so much. It was a really, really fun series. And I had a great time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it
me
was
too.
great.